Hello, everyone. I hope that you are well and staying healthy, and that your families are healthy and happy, staying home if you can. Life has changed. I think that it was a little naive of me to think that I would be able to do daily vlogs when all of this started, or that I would be able to carry on as normal, because nothing is normal anymore. Our family is staying home. We are lucky to be able to stay home as much as possible. My husband is a stay-at-home dad. I have my Etsy shop, as you know. We've been doing e-learning, homeschooling as much as we can. We're not putting too much pressure on ourselves to keep up with it on days that we don't feel up to it, because it's more important right now that we are there for each other and making the most of this time to keep things as anxiety-free as possible. I thought that my return to vlogging would be an appropriate time to do my very first and only video that lasts 1 hour, so a 1 hour special. I have been knitting platypuses, platypus toys. This is a pattern by Joanna Johnson from her children's books, and she and her husband are a husband and wife team that make them together. And my daughter's birthday is the 29th, and she has been begging for all of the handmade toys from these books. And yeah, there will be 3 of them total. I made her the brother and the sister, and my son wanted one as well, wanted the boy. So I will be working on that a lot in this vlog, because that's really all I've been knitting at the moment, are platypus toys. And then when I'm not doing that, I am trying to balance work and homeschool and lots of cooking and spending time outside as much as we can. I will admit that in the beginning, we've gone through phases. When this started, we didn't want to go outside at all, and then that caused us to feel claustrophobic, and so then we sought refuge outside and tried to go outside every day, and it was our solace and life-sustaining. And then after that, it became not as special to be outside, and now we've sort of struck a balance between those two things, where we just take it day by day. And some days we are spending hours outside. Some days we close our doors and just enjoy each other within our home and spend lots of time baking and probably more snacking than we should, and watching movies and all of that. So I'm sure that none of this is surprising or strange to hear, because so many of us are going through it at the exact same time. Don't spill it.
Do they like their old home?
They probably are happy to have their new pots. I do feel the need to preface this by saying there is a lot of cooking and a lot of bread baking, and I feel like in the past my vlogging has included a lot of studio time and just snippets here and there of something that we're cooking or activities we're doing together. But like so many other things in our life right now, my schedule is completely at the mercy of this new quarantine schedule that we are under. My children are home all day, and it's a lot for me to just be away all day and come out after my work day. So I've been out helping with homeschooling and keeping the house tidy, keeping our supplies as far as food stocked, because a lot more of our food is homemade. Not that we didn't eat homemade food as much before, but the opportunity to just run to the grocery store as we had done in the past is not there as much. We only do grocery side pickup, and we only do that every 2 weeks. So that is really the only time that we leave our home other than to go for walks. As many of you know, yeast and flour have been something that are sporadically unavailable. We are lucky that we have been able to find flour in our area, but yeast is very difficult to find. And the solution to that I am sure everyone has seen is sourdough cultures. And I started my sourdough starter on April 6th, and I kept a journal through the process because it was an extremely intimidating idea for me to do, and I definitely failed at my first loaf. But I'm learning a lot. In the beginning, my shop business did slow. I'm sure many small businesses saw that with their own sales. And in the past, in normal circumstances, a slow of sales would have frightened me. It would have made me worry. I'm the only income for my family. And, you know, any moment of doubt makes you wonder if entrepreneurship was the right path. But this time, I think that a slow in sales a few weeks ago, when it happened, was exactly what I needed. I needed time to process everything that was happening. I needed to adjust to being my kid's teacher, and my husband needed to adjust to losing his afternoons where he was able to catch up on all of the things around the house without any intervention. And now there are constantly cups being used and dishes being made and laundry being made, and we're all here. And I have seen plenty of people going through the same thing online. There's more dishes, more laundry, more entertainment needed to distract children who are used to being at recess or with their friends or with their teachers. And so that role has to be filled by the parents, and we are doing that. And we are doing that as a team, and we are doing that poorly on some days, and with some success on other days. And I think that the most important thing is for us to be kind and gracious to each other, but also to ourselves, to forgive ourselves for those days that we struggle, that we feel negativity or we express negativity, because it's going to happen. This is an extremely strange time, and I hope that you are all being generous with yourselves through it.
You tell me you're scared. You tell me you're weak, but I know you're stronger than what you think. And I know it's hard. Yeah, I know it's rough, but we'll make it through, and I'll back you up. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. you're afraid. I wish you could see that. I think you're brave, and if it all falls, if it all breaks, I'll still be here. We'll fix these mistakes. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death.
It's another morning, and another outfit for the platypus toys. This morning I am starting the dress for May, the big sister, and Rory is very much a literal child, so if the toy in the book wears a purple dress, then the toy that I make her needs to have a purple dress. And in the same sense, if Freddie, the platypus, has overalls with red buttons, then he'll need to have red buttons. So yeah, that's a charming trait of our daughters. And my son, in contrast, he will change things on purpose to make them more unique to him and his likes. And I think that's something I may have been more likely to do when I was a child, whereas my husband was more literal as a child. So it's always fun to see their different personalities come through and hear their different requests for things for Mama to make them.
Little Dipper. Down here, we call that a spoon. Spoon? That's a silly word. I'll get redder. Ice your friend. He's right outside. Outside? Where outside?
As I was taking the video for this vlog, I noticed the dates. I always sign and date my artwork. And my daughter was born in 2015, and I started making these drawings for her in 2016, so she was only a year old. And she always wants me to draw the drawings from the books, which are shown here. And she always requests just little alterations. Despite being a literal child, she likes for me to add a dolly here, or make sure May's sister, or make sure the sister is included, or just little details that make the drawing more special for her. And of course, these are not our original artworks. I look off of the book, and they are in no way mass-produced. They are just for her wall, and I've been doing that for several years now, and the platypus toys are no exception. Her birthday will include a platypus drawing, and I actually did something different this time. It hadn't even occurred to me before, I guess because she was so young, that she might like to color the drawings that I make for her. And she watched me do the ink and the sketch of this platypus family, which is a illustration that is in the book, but I added, as you can see, the sister sitting on the rug with both of the dollies and a little tea party, and I've changed the pictures, and those of you that have the book may be interested to turn to this page. It's, I believe, the second to last page, to see the differences that we added. And she was right there. She wanted to make sure her Phoebe doll, the mouse up in the, or I guess down in the bottom right corner of the illustration that I did, was visiting. And anyway, this time I finished the ink and I went to my printer scanner and I made a black and white copy of this illustration for her to color. And she really enjoyed that. You will see at the video I took of her wall that she has already hung up the coloring that she made from my drawing. So that was really neat, and something that I will definitely be doing more often for my children, maybe making them their own custom coloring sheets, especially right now as they are experiencing bouts of boredom from having been home for so many days without the stimulation of school or even visits with family. So just anything little that I can do to help and entertain them is always, I won't say always appreciated, but is always worth the effort, even if it doesn't always work. Because some days, they're children and a coloring page just isn't what we want, which is totally fine. So, but I will be finishing this and wrapping it for her birthday to go along with the knitted toys.
Hi, Angie. How are you? Good. I've been waiting for you and I got bored. I've been waiting for you and I got bored.
You've been waiting the whole time?
Yeah.
This big one's yours. Don't let mommy take it, okay?
Okay. Mom, she has bags for us.
Yes, she does.
I don't know what's inside.
She's leaving treats. Tell her stuff is in the trunk.
Your stuff is in the truck.
It's in the trunk.
Yeah.
What?
I love you so much, Angie.
She can't hear you. Gotta say it louder.
I love you so much, Angie. And you're the awesomest aunt I ever had.
Will, you gonna say hi to her?
I can't wait for all this sickness stuff to be over.
As our daughter's birthday approaches, the reality of her not having a party has been devastating at times. The idea that she can't have our family over. She's only going to be 5. So it's not that she had a lot of friends her age, but family is very important, and we love birthdays in our house. So I always try to make a really big deal so that they know how special they are. And I know that I'm perfectly able to do that at home, but I just don't want her or my son, if it goes into July, if this stay-at-home order goes into July, I don't want them to feel sad. So my family has, or our family, my family, and then on Adam's side, they have all agreed to do video calls or phone calls and drop the presents off outside and just make it as special as they can, even though they won't be able to be here. So they seem to understand, our children seem to understand as best that they can, that even though everyone's not going to be here, they are very loved and we're going to have a good time, the four of us. And when we're able to see family again, we will have another party. So I'm excited to be able to have them go and visit their grandmas and papa and aunts and uncles. And in the meantime, they are enjoying their Facebook video chats and yelling at them through the window whenever they stop by the driveway, as you would have just seen, and leaving treats on the doorstep. So it's not all bad, but it is different, and I feel like they are being very brave and understanding for children.
No.
Push down?
Donut!
Did it work?
I think. Well, can you give me the flour? Yeah, for the ice. Did I make donuts?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, sure. Why is your Play-Doh on there? Doesn't matter. I made a cupcake. Which cupcake?
Do you see my little friends? They've built their nest right outside the window where I sculpt all of your orders. And I get to look up and see them. The mama bird is not very happy whenever I'm in my desk, and so she will just chirp and chirp and chirp for daddy bird to come back. And he'll come back and he'll stare at me like he's doing there, and sometimes he'll take her off with him. And sometimes he'll just fly off and be like, "You're fine, stop whining." That's what I think he's saying. It's like, she's just sculpting. She's not a threat. So anyway, this week, week to week, my updates have been happening. I have been able to at least put out a little bit of something every week, which I've been pretty proud of myself for doing. Every week it seemed like less and less likely something would happen that I would be like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to have an update this week. Like if the kids were struggling with homework or if I was struggling with homework. And anyway, so I've been able to keep up and even manage to keep my supplies in stock, which hasn't been super easy. As I'm sure many of you have noticed, shipping has been unpredictable, and supply stocks on Amazon, shipping from Amazon, which is where I get the bulk of my supplies, has been quite unpredictable. But it always seems to work out, and I actually have seen it as a blessing because I've been turning to more small businesses like myself for my supplies. I've found new scissors. I have been getting charms and findings for my bronze pieces from Etsy and just supporting small businesses like myself. So that's been really nice to be able to do that for others the way it is done for me. I'm very pleased to not only be restocking my gold stork scissors, which I adore. I have always loved the vintage stork scissors, and to be able to carry them in my shop has been so incredible. And now I am also carrying a new rustic black scissors, a new rustic pair of scissors that have black handles, and I think that you guys are going to love them. They have been sealed by me. Their handles have been sealed so that there is no black residue that might get on your fingers, which I have found with this style of scissors does happen sometimes, and we don't want that. So I fixed that problem myself, and I am just enjoying carrying new items in my shop and enjoying seeing you guys purchase them, use them, love them. It's just such a wonderful feeling. I have still been working with clay. I feel like I have not even touched on clay yet, and that is what I do. I am a sculptor, so it's kind of strange to say. I am many things. I feel like a sculptor is too singular. But your orders have been coming in every week. I am so grateful. You keep our lights on and our table full, and it is just amazing to see people supporting me even in times like this. So I hope you know how appreciated you are and how much I love seeing what you choose from my shop and making those orders for you and getting them out to you. To protect myself and my family, our household, from exposure to the virus, I have only been going to the post office on Fridays. There have been some exceptions. I might be out for a walk, so I drop a package in the drop box, but I only go during off hours, whenever the lobby is empty, and I put things in the outbox and wear my mask and put Germ-X on afterwards and try to stay as safe as possible. And to do that, I thought that limiting my trip to the post office to once a week would be the best thing for everyone, for my customers and my family. And everyone has been so understanding. I think one of the things about life slowing down while we wait all of this out is that we aren't as impatient. Something I learned from doing sourdough. I realized I'm a very impatient person. And not to say that it's impatience that makes us want our orders in a certain time frame, but the world was so fast before, and now everything is different and slower, and just us and our family, or us and our homes and with our pets, and it's just different. So that's brought some blessings with it. It has made us look at things in a different way, I believe. So, wearing masks. Is it awkward for you guys? I am not used to it, and I'm still very self-conscious when I am in public wearing my beautiful handmade mask. A very dear friend of mine made our whole family masks, and they fit beautifully, and I love them. But wearing them, it's not the norm, you know, for us. It is now, of course, but it's a strange feeling. I myself did make some masks. I made masks for our family and for a few friends, and it felt good to provide that to them, to use some of my crafting skills, though by no means do I consider myself a skilled seamstress. I get by, but it felt good to keep my family as safe as I can, even though I can't be there with them, my extended family. I know that not everyone sews or knows someone that sews, and I think that it's important for me to do what I can, but not overexert myself. Like, it's important to maintain sanity and quiet moments as well, so I'm not putting pressure on myself, but when I feel that need to get out the sewing machine, I certainly do so. tap, 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 tap. Okay?
It's sort of
Hold
like
it.
snow.
Here, I will hold it with your left hand,
Okay.
and then tap on the side gently. And then move in a circle. Keep going.
What happens if I get off the line?
It's okay. We'll just clean it up. Good job.
You got
Now
off the
hang on.
line.
I'll let you do it on the bread in just a second.
What else do we put in? This flour.
Nothing. All we're doing is putting the bread out to rise right now, buddy.
Okay. So we have to wait for it to dry. Oh, that's the red. What do we do with that plan? Oh, we
We have
did that.
to make sure we don't press out any of the air, so we have to be very careful. Alright, so this is nice and tight now. Very, very tight.
Now
So
we
now-
put flour on.
You'll put flour on the top just a second.
Guys,
Put
do it.
Hang on. Tap a little bit of flour over the top.
Okay. Because flour has to be on the bread. We can do it from like that.
Okay, well done. Good job.
Now we put it in the bread machine.
Nope. Now it's got to rise. And in the morning, you'll get to see what you made.
Now what? Put more flour on it
Yep.
so it can rise. Why in the morning?
Because it won't be done before then. Alright.
What happens?
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching